Joining us here at the 2023 CUSA Kickoff, joined now by Liberty head coach Jamie Chadwell, offensive lineman Xavier Gadlin, and safety Quentin Reese. We will begin with a short opening statement from Coach Chadwell before opening it up to questions for him and our two student athletes. Thank you as well to those joining us today via Zoom. Please be sure to type your question in the chat along with your name and affiliation, and we will get to those once we finish up here in the room. Coach Chadwell.
Thank you. On behalf of our new president, Don DeCostin, our new chancellor, Jonathan Falwell, our athletic director, Ian McCall, we're very excited to be a part of today and be a part of Conference USA. Being an independent for 4 years, having this chance to be a part of something and being part of this competitive conference and be able to leave a legacy for our program as in Conference USA is exciting for our team, exciting for our staff. We're thankful for Liberty and them making the decision to want to be a part of this conference. We hope through our time that we can be a very productive team in this conference, that we can our goal and expectations are to compete for the championships every year and have a chance to be in the college football playoff. And I do believe this conference, the teams, the coaches, the players in this league, I think this conference is on the cusp of something extraordinary. We've added some really good teams with some good coaches, and we're excited about being a part of that and helping build that legacy of Conference USA going forward. And excited about these young men here beside us. When you take over a program, there's a lot of challenges, but these two men here have really bought into what we're doing, and we're thankful that we're here representing Liberty University. We'll open up for some questions.
We'll start with a question from Zoom from John Manson of Sea Red. Coach, you had a lot of success at your previous stops, including another G5 conference in the Sun Belt. How does that success help prepare and navigate Liberty through an FBS conference schedule for the first time in school history?
Well, I think it just gives you some experience, obviously, to know what conference play is like and the grind of that. I've shared with our team multiple times that, being a conference, everybody's playing for that opportunity there at the end, and every game is important, and there's no off weeks. And what I mean by that is you can't just roll the ball out and think you're going to show up and, hey, we're going to get excited for this opponent but not worry about this opponent. Every week is important, and being a part of that, a lot of our staff has been a part of that. That'll help our team understand the importance of playing every week, and so we still got to go out and do it, but and continue to educate our team on that.
Coach Jack Nixon, New Mexico State Aggie Radio Network. What's your quarterback situation?
How much time do we have?
All the time you need, Coach.
Yeah, so you know what? We have some good players that are competing for the starting job. We play y'all week 2, so I'll let y'all know week 2, I think. But whoever will take care of the football, be the best teammate in the locker room, take ownership and accountability for their role on the team, is going to be our guy. I hope that we can have that established by going into our first week. That's our plan. I don't want to play multiple quarterbacks if I don't have to. I want one guy to be the guy. They have to earn that. They've been competing since spring. We've had 4 or 5 guys competing for spring, competing for that. We'll have to obviously narrow that down to 2 once we get a few practices into camp, and then hopefully make a decision. And I like the guys in the room. They got to continue to believe in themselves, continue to take ownership of that role, and we'll play who gives us the best chance to take care of the ball and not put us in bad situations, and who the locker room ultimately believes in will fight for.
One other, please, Coach. Did you have to fill in a lot of roster spots when you came in, or was the roster fairly well stocked?
It was stocked until after, I guess I signed the contract, and then the portal hit and all those things. So between now and where we're at today, we've had close to about 50% of roster turnover, not necessarily by my choice, but so we've had to work on that. And so the guys that have remained, we've got some really good players there that have remained and that have bought into what we're doing, and we brought some new guys in, and the guys that we brought in might not have the experience of the guys we lost, but they are believing in the culture that we're laying and the expectations we have. So that's part of the challenge of being a new coach in today's age, and we handled it the best we could and continuing to look moving forward. Thank you.
A question for the players. A lot of new experiences like we've been talking about with being in the FBS conference now. What's the experience been like for you to be at a media day, to represent the university, and just kind of speak about the season?
It's been a blessing just to be here in general, be in this awesome baseball field and just meet other players who are kind of like-minded and trying to go to the same direction you're going. And it's a blessing to be in Conference USA, for real.
Yeah, big blessing, just like you said, just to have this platform to represent our team well. I was in the American Conference when I was at Tulsa, so I always got to see our older guys go to media days and hoping that would be me one day. So I'm glad I get to do it, and also glad I get to do it here because I'm a hometown kid right now. My house is 20 minutes away from the stadium, so I got to see my family last night too. So couldn't have worked out better for me.
And I will add that I beat Quentin in basketball and golf, and then I beat both of them in bowling. So if anybody wants to put that on there.
We didn't even play a full game of bowling.
But I did win.
Jamie, Jeff Nations with the Bowling Green Daily News. Just wanted to ask you about the October schedule, too. Is it all excitement for you, or are you a little bit worried that it might be a little treacherous with affecting your normal routine and schedule?
Well, we are routine-based, but I think you have to look at it this way. We get the opportunity, our program, our conference to be on national television. That is huge. That's huge for our branding of our conference, especially for Liberty University and our football and what we're about. And so whatever hiccups may occur, I think those are things that you take in stride. Previously, been able to play on some of those midweek games and to have the national television audience have a chance to see what you're about is priceless. And so whatever we get thrown off routine-wise, the players want to be on national television. Yeah. They get that opportunity. And so if you tell them, hey, they got to play at 6 a.m., they'll do it, just to be on national television. They want that opportunity. And so we get that opportunity to do that. We go Thursday, Tuesday, and we're working our Friday's like a Monday, and we've already changed our dates, at least coaches-wise. They don't know that yet, but we've already changed our dates on how that works. And I'm excited about it because we get a chance to showcase who we are to a bigger audience. And the better we do, the better that helps our conference, and the better it helps our university.
Another question for the players from Zoom. John Manson of Sea Red asks for the players, how exciting is it to be able to compete for a conference championship after being independent the last few years?
It's very exciting. It's one of the things that we've talked about all the time. It was one of Coach Chadwell's first points when he got here, was just the opportunity to play for a conference championship and what that really means. Because before, it was, hey, let's make sure we get 6 wins, go get to a bowl game so we can have that as our championship. But now, it just means a little bit more when you're fighting for a conference championship, especially in the position that we're in. First year being in an FBS conference, that's big for school history. That's big for our legacy as a team, as players. So I think the understanding of that opportunity just makes it that much more valuable and just makes it mean that much more.
Xavier, you played every offensive snap for Liberty last year, 3 different positions along the line. Talk to me about that versatility and just your willingness to kind of do whatever it takes for the team.
Yeah, I've been blessed to have been able to do that since high school. I played every position except for center in my high school career, so that kind of helped me transition that in order to get to college and do that. But it's also just understanding that my ability to do that makes me that much more available for my team because you can kind of get stuck in playing one position, and as an offensive lineman, if you can play multiple, then it's like, oh, somebody went down over there, X, we can move you over there. Somebody went down at center, X, you can go play center right now. Help us get through a game. And not only that, but when you look at, the next level, they only travel 7, maybe 8 offensive linemen, so 3 of them need to know how to snap. So that also helps me in that aspect too. But even just for right now where we're at, it helps me be that much more willing to help the team in any aspect possible. I'll go play DB if I need to. It doesn't really matter.
Coach, we talked about the quarterback competition. You infused the running back room from the portal. Talk to me about some of the strengths there.
Well, we did. We lost a few guys there through the portal and had to refill it. And I like the group. I think we have a good mix of some inside outside guys. We needed to have some guys that we could count on in short yardage situations, and then also have some players that if they got the ball out in space could take it to the distance and not have to snap the ball again. From a talent standpoint, that was probably one of the areas that we really wanted to improve, and I felt like we've done that, throughout signing date and the portal dates. Now we have to see what it looks like once we get the pads on here in a week or so. But that group has a chance to be a good group, and they need to be, because we've got some newer guys that are going to be playing at some other positions, and if we can rely on some of these running backs that have played at other places and some of that experience early on until our other guys grow up, that'll help us tremendously.
Just for the players too, knowing that this was coming, that you were going to be in this conference, did you start looking at Conference USA ahead of time, start watching the teams, and if so, what's your impression of some of your new conference mates?
Yeah, I took a peek coming in, and it's a very competitive conference, and I feel like we're going to have to compete every week, kind of like Coach Chadwell said. But at the end of the day, it doesn't necessarily matter who you play. It's kind of based on how we're doing as a team, and it's focused on us, and we got to continue to just focus on what we can do to get better every week.
Yeah, I've had some guys that I played with in high school playing Conference USA before, guys playing on different teams. And, of course, you watch college football all the time. But one thing that I always heard from one of my old coaches when I was at Tulsa is that everybody has 85 guys on scholarship. So it doesn't matter where you are, doesn't matter who you're playing, you have to bring it every single day. And that's even more important in the conference because everybody's competing for a conference championship.
Question for Quentin. One of 3 returning starters on the defense, keeping the same defensive scheme, but there's going to be a lot of new faces. Do you anticipate that being a hiccup, and maybe are you kind of taking a leadership role in that room?
I think there's always growing pains with anything new in life, but I feel like as a team and as a unit, we're going to keep striking the stone and keep taking it day by day and focus on the little things, which is going to set us up later on this season when it really counts.
Strike the stone, baby.
Yeah.
Love it. I should tell him my
Xavier, question for you. Off the field, you've been heavily involved in community service, and just talk me through how important that's been to you to really chip in off the field.
Very important. I'm a product of the community pouring into me when I was a kid, and especially once I got the opportunity to do it at Tulsa and also here, the platform that you have as a college athlete, though it's small, it's really small in time, it's big in impact. You have the chance to impact kids who may have never seen a college athlete before, has no idea what you go through on a day-to-day life, what your life looks like outside of that. They just know that you play football and you're on TV, so that kind of makes you important. So being able to use that as a positive and get out into the community and make an impact wherever I'm at is something that's always been important to me.
Quinn, you were one of 12 student athletes to receive a deal from Reese's, courtesy of your last name.
Yeah.
And got the opportunity to go to the NIL Summit. So talk me through that experience. What did you learn at the NIL Summit? Kind of did they talk about some of the future there and just kind of what other opportunities there are going to be for you?
It's a blessing, and the NIL space is real interesting because you got to market yourself. It's not necessarily about like what school you may go to, but it's how you brand yourself on social media daily. And there's some guys who they may be a walk-on at a school, but they're paying their tuition through NIL. It's just how you market yourself and the value you find in yourself and how you can use it to help others.
All right. Well, thank you all very much for your time today. We'll have Sam Houston up next at 11:25.
You gonna give him the joke?
Flames.
Flames.